If you were trying to heal from a breakup, and no matter what it is that you seem to be doing, it doesn't seem to be working, I'm going to be showing you exactly what you might not be doing that if you started doing, it would help you to finally move on. And I know this for a fact because in a past relationship, I was cheated on. And there were many times where I was crying myself to sleep. There were many times where everything used to remind me of her, whether I would smell something, where I would see something, where I would hear something, and it would just take me back to the relationship, and I would just feel this sense of pain. And I would deal with that pain in ways that I'm not proud about. But once I started to do what I'm about to share with you in this video, it allowed me to move on to now being married to the love of my life. So what I'm about to share with you works. So let's get into it. So there are 4 things that I'm going to share with you in this video. The very first thing to stop doing is seeing time as the thing that heals all, because time doesn't heal all wounds. That's what I used to believe in the past, right? But I want you to think of this. If time did heal all wounds, wouldn't we not have childhood trauma? So time doesn't heal all wounds, but it can assist with healing. Time can absolutely lessen the emotional charge of the wounds that can allow you to really go into what is going on underneath. But time does not heal all wounds. We can have 2 people side by side. It could take one person 12 weeks, 6 months to get over the breakup. Another person could take 12 years, 6 years to get over the breakup. And I've worked with clients like this. And if that is you, there's no shame. You may just not have known what I'm about to share with you in this video. It took me a long time to know this information. The second thing that I want to break down is to remember that language builds reality. Through your words, you can either create or perpetuate more of the pain that you're trying to get rid of. So I want you to think of it like this. Let's say that I have a broken hand and I'm doing all of the work, right? I'm going to the physiotherapy, I'm icing my hand, I'm doing all of the right things to heal from this broken hand. However, let's say that after physiotherapy, I come home and I punch this wall 10 times. Just 10 times. Don't you think that I can be doing all of the correct things, but if I'm just doing certain things, like punching a wall, it's going to take away all of the right things that I'm doing? Absolutely, right? So you can be doing all of the correct things. You could be crying, you could be going to therapy, you could be feeling your emotions, whatever it might be that you're being trying to do, right? However, if there are things that you're doing that's creating or perpetuating more of the pain, then it's going to continue. You're going to still be in the heartbreak. So even in that word, right? Heartbreak. I want you to think of it like this. And this is something that my mentor, Kyle Cease, once told me when I was in the midst of the pain going through being cheated on. He said, Matt, people can never break your heart, but they can break your expectations. You had an expectation of how you wanted the relationship to be, and now life doesn't meet the expectation. And also the added ingredient that makes it even more painful is you may feel like you have no control, no influence to change their reality, because maybe they broke up with you, or maybe you want to get back with them and you broke up with them, but now they don't want to get back with you. And then there's all of this pain, there's this lack of control that you have that is making the pain even more. Because if life doesn't meet your expectations, but you feel like you can control what's happening, then it's not as painful. So I want you to be hyper aware of what it is that you think about. What are the words that you're using? Because in Proverbs 18:21, it says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. So as I mentioned, the words that we use can either create or perpetuate more of the pain that we're trying to get rid of through the words that we're using, through the words that we're thinking. Even though you're not speaking it out loud, it does have power when you're thinking those words. The third thing is to know what you can control, because there are very little things that we can control in life. Like, can you control the weather? No, of course not. Can you control other people? No, you can try, but it's not going to work. Can you control your thoughts? Some of you might be saying yes, but the answer is no, you cannot control your thoughts. Well, Matt, of course you can control your thoughts. Well, don't think of the color blue. Whatever you do not think of the color blue. Do not think of the color blue. Whatever you do not think of the color blue. What are you thinking of right now, right? You're thinking of the color blue. So we cannot control our thoughts, but we can train our thoughts. We can't control what we focus on, but we can train what we focus on, because when going through a breakup, our brain will delete, distort, and generalize information. The key thing here is the brain will delete information, because when we're going through a breakup, haven't you noticed that you tend to delete all of the terrible things about the person, all the terrible things about the relationship, all of the ways that you were incompatible, and only focus on the amazing memories, only focus on the amazing things about them. Right? That's what our brain does. So it's important to train your focus by training yourself to sit with certain questions. Like, This is a question that I used to ask myself. Do I never want to get back with her? Why are we not a great fit for each other? Why would I be robbing her of amazing love if I was to get into a relationship with her again? That's a powerful question, because it would be selfish of me to see us as incompatible and then get back together and potentially rob her of having an amazing relationship who is a much better fit. Questions directs our focus, and what we focus on, we will feel. So be aware of the things that you can control to an extent, which is you can train your focus by asking better questions, and you can control the meaning that you place on an event. So here's what I mean by this. There was two or 3 weeks ago, our cat was very, very sick, and she was in the vet for a week. Now, here in Bali, we ride scooters. So my wife was riding the scooter in front of me, and she had a backpack on with our tiny little kitten in there. Then I was riding behind her, and I could see our kitten in the back of the backpack because it has like a clear cover. So I could see her panicking, stressing out, right? Which makes sense. She was in a cage for a week and she had all of these strangers and everything was going on, and she was stressed out. Where am I going now? What's happening here? But because I could see it from a higher perspective, a different perspective, I could see that she's about to go home. She's about to get all the love. She's about to get all of the treats, and she's about to be safe and sound. And I believe right now, God is seeing you in this pain. God is seeing you stress out, but God can see it from a higher perspective. He can see all the steps that you cannot see. Just like I could see our cat panicking, I could see where she was going, and God can see where you are going, even though you cannot conceive or perceive what He sees. So when we're trying to change the meaning of the situation from our human eyes, it can be challenging. But I invite you to temporarily step out of your experience and see to the best of your ability what God would be seeing about your situation. What is God's perspective on this breakup? What is God's meaning of this breakup for you? How could God be being a great father for you in this moment? Don't you think a great father would take you out of an experience that isn't for you and redirect you to someone who is for you? See, I couldn't see that when I was cheated on, that pain that I was going through, letting out that, I let out some sounds when I first found out, like it was primal sounds, just deep, deep, deep pain. And I didn't know that 1 year later, I was going to meet the woman who I was going to marry. I was like our kitten in the backpack, stressing out, why am I going through this? And God is being like, I see where you're going. I see where I'm leading you. Trust me. And the fourth thing that I cannot skip is to honor your pain. So what do I mean by this? There is a very big difference between feeling your emotions and honoring your emotions. I can feel my sadness, but I could also be placing judgment on my sadness by saying things like, I should be over this by now. Why am I still feeling sad? I just cried yesterday. There is all of this judgment that I'm placing on the sadness that doesn't actually allow the emotion to fully come up and out. The emotion will just be recycled because there is judgment on the emotions. It's not allowing it to fully complete itself. So to honor the emotion is to sit with the emotion and allow it to be there without any judgment, just to allow it to be. The speed of your healing will be directly related to how deeply you can honor your emotions. I want you to hear that. I used to have a course that I used to charge for, nearly close to $200, and now I've made it completely free. So if you want some more support with this, I have a free course that will take you through the healing process. Over 1,000 people have been through it, healed their pain, moved on. So if you want some support with this for free, go ahead and click the link down below and you can get the course for free that I have. I really hope that this video helped you out. Go ahead, subscribe, leave a comment down below what was the most helpful thing that you got from this, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.